Hello everybody, hey, it's Rob at Old Style Classics Baseball Cards and Trading Cards and Sports Cards and other hobbies and whatnot. So today we went on, today is January 20th, 2025. Happy Inauguration Day and MLK Jr. Day, Monday. And we went to the local card shop today and I picked up a couple of these Looney Tunes Flair Retro from Upper Deck. In the bargain bin. I did see these before online, and then when I saw the price of a hobby box, it was like $250, and I was like, no, thank you. I love Bugs Bunny. He's my favorite actor, and I've always been a huge Bugs Bunny guy, and I wanted to see some of these, but I'm not going to pay that kind of money for it. But here they had these, so I figured I've seen a few, I'll grab them, and let's go ahead and do that today on Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. It's my second video of the day. I first did the Allen and Ginter Ballpark Bites episode, and with that and the Giant Ballpark Bites box loader as well. So that's pretty cool. Forgot to plug in my light here. Let's get this back going. So anyways, people, thank you for joining me on Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. Please speed up your video, 1.25 or 1.5. You want me to sound normal if I talk too slow. You know, anybody who likes this kind of stuff like Allen Ginter, Gypsy Queen, Goodwin Champion, Bugs Bunny, all that stuff, send them my way. Like, subscribe, leave comments if you wouldn't mind if you're watching this stuff. And yep, kind of stuck at 213 subscribers, but thank you, 213 subscribers. I can't tell you how much I love Bugs Bunny. I love Looney Tunes. I think most people in our age range love them too. Saturday morning cartoons, or even folks that remember seeing this stuff at the theaters. But here we go. So looks like Upper Deck owns the Flair rights right now, and so they put this out. So let's take a look at this pack a little bit. Only got 2 packs, so it shouldn't be too long of an episode. I hear like the die cuts are really pretty good or valuable. It would be kind of cool to get one of those autographs from one of the people doing the voices now. But there you go. And let's see, what do we got here? Well, I don't see it, but I know there are autographs. So I don't think they have this stuff in retail, but I could be wrong. All right, everybody, so let's get to it. Please pause it and read it if you'd like to see that. So, Upper Deck got some pretty decent packaging here. All right, looks like Daffy Duck there. As the saying goes, we all want to be Bugs Bunny, but we're all Daffy Duck. Alright, so here we go. $10. Got a discount as well, so alright, pretty cool looking cards and pretty decent card stock as well. And they're a little raised. They kind of got a little, what do they call that? Not embalming. That's what I was about to say. That's raised, and it's got little valleys and peaks there. So the Weasel, I'm not familiar with this guy, or if I am, I don't remember. So let's see, this card number 43. Oh, okay, yeah, so this is one of the Foghorn. Now I remember him. Foghornleghorn. I say, boy. He's Foghornleghorn. All right, so there we go. The Weasel, probably not one of their more popular characters. Back in New Mexico when we lived there, Santa Fe, about 50-60 miles north of Albuquerque, is really artsy, lots of art galleries and all that stuff. And Chuck Jones, one of the directors of Bugs Bunny, had a gallery up there and sold some of his stuff, and Frizz Freeling and some of the other artists' animation sells. And I actually worked at the Warner Brothers store when I lived in Florida for that summer for about a month, and I was actually going to train to sell animation art, but I had to get out of Florida. I didn't like it, so I needed to leave before I ever got the training to start doing that. But anyways, we used to go up to the Chuck Jones Gallery in Santa Fe, where I was on his mailing list. Got to meet him, say hi to him one time, and then his daughter, talked to her one other time at these different events. It might still be there in Santa Fe, but the animation art was a pretty big deal back then. And yep, so I was actually gonna sell the actual art for a while, but that never panned out. So there it is. All right. So next we have the little chipmunk dudes. So they're really nice cards, nice stock, kind of chrome-ish, but not really chrome, but kind of a foil covered in, yeah, it's hard to explain. It's like skybox metal. So there you go. Underground Tea Party. The Goofy Gophers, that's what they were called. I remember some guy coming into that Warner Brothers store wanting the names of these Goofy Gophers, and nobody could remember. And there it is. That's before the internet, folks, or at least before smartphones. You couldn't just pull it up on the spot at the store and look at this. So there we go. The Goofy Gophers. They were kind of funny. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. So, pretty cool. Alright, let me put this here. Gotta make some room here. Alright, next one is, there's a chromish one. Chrome foil, but it's more like foil. Dough for the Dodo. It's Porky Pig. The original, the main characters from Warner Brothers. I mean, obviously they had some characters before them, but Porky Pig's the oldest of the main ones that you would know, the main characters. Because I think they had like Buddy or something before them, but nobody liked that. Porky Pig used to be a lot fatter. Alright, it's a Porky Pig. These are nice cards if you're into Warner Brothers and stuff. Alright, here a little New Mexico action. Speaking of Chuck Jones has often talked about how so Chuck Jones not only directed, but he came up with some of the characters. Chuck Jones is the director that did What's Opera Doc, just for starters. But Chuck Jones, one of his main claims to fame is he's the one that came up with the Roadrunner and Coyote. And he based that on when he would travel through New Mexico. So New Mexico, where I grew up, is the inspiration for old Roadrunner and Coyote. Of course, the Roadrunner's state bird in New Mexico. So meet. So information you probably never wanted to know, but there's your me teaching people about cards or something, so that maybe in another year we'll do YouTube Hall of Fame, which people are doing right now. Number 48, Roadrunner. Why Wile E. Coyote kept buying Acme, nobody will know. I just saw that on the news yesterday. I think that's kind of funny. Alright, so that's pretty cool. That blue, that's really nice. A little fingerprint action there, but wipe that right off. So meet. Alright. Hey, he could have been one of those Alan and Ginter talented cards. Don't forget to speed up your video, people, if I speak too slowly for you. Alright, next we're going to get, hey, look at this. There we go. That's all of us Daffy Duck talking on the phone in the car, about to get in an accident, not paying attention, and wishing we were all Bugs Bunny. That's smooth. It's like we want to be James Bond, but we're really the janitor. Alright, talking on the phone. That does look like old school Daffy Duck there. So, it's an episode with Porky Pig. Alright, 2023. Oh, wow, it must be a newer one. They did a good job making them look retro. So, I guess that's one of the new shows. Now, here's my criticism for Looney Tunes. A couple criticisms. I'm going to go off on a little rant here, people. We all love Bugs Bunny and all that, and they've tried to keep bringing them back every few years, different shows, and some of them are pretty good. But when they have actually done shorts, which were actually originally shown at the movies before a movie, before like the main featured movie, they did shorts like cartoons like Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse, Three Stooges, all that kind of stuff. So they're technically considered movies, and that's why they can get Oscar awards and stuff like that. Like What's Opera won the Oscar for Bugs Bunny. Oh no, wait. Did it? Anyways, nevertheless, but the problem is when they bring them back, for whatever reason, they think, oh, you know what we need to do? We need to beat a dead horse. Basically, they always go back to the rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season. They always kind of tend to rehash or dig up and try to, play off of those old, that it's like, dude, you got to come up with something new. You got to do something new, something more interesting than just like rehashing the old, kind of like The Force Awakens and Star Wars or something. So they keep doing that, and it's like, ah, boy, just give us something new like the Animaniacs did, or stuff like that. It's much better. And either they do that, or then they do like little kiddie versions, which Looney Tunes was never meant for kids. It always had a lot of double entendres and innuendo and stuff. Kids could enjoy it, but it was really made for adults. So that's my one critique, is they always continue to do that. So I think this is one of those yellow dot ones. So there we go. We got a Daffy Duck. That looks more modern. But I was wrong on the last one, so let's find out. Alright, Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck is so funny. Gotta love Daffy Duck. It's funny, we're at Chick-fil-A today, and now I know this is, I'm not a big Disney fan, never was. I do like some of their movies and stuff like that, like Aladdin and all that, but it was a little too kiddie for me growing up. But this kid had, this little girl had like a Daffy Duck backpack, not Daffy Duck, a Donald Duck backpack, and it was really cool. So, there you go. Okie dokie, so I'm not super aware of what's rare in these. So, that seemed to be a pretty interesting pack. Save this one for last because it felt slightly thicker. So I could be wrong, but let's give it a shot, folks. Before that's all, folks. Alright, here's another one that old Chuck Jones came up with. So there's a Chuck Jones character. The old mascot for the WB. Remember the WB when the Warner Brothers tried to start their own station? Pre-streaming. So, Froggin' It, 1997. So there we go. That's probably another one where they rehashed the whole hello my darling, hello my baby, hello my ragtime girl. So Michigan J. Frog. So that just leads me to remind you to go check out Mr. Frog videos on YouTube, and just funny stuff. Those frogs and toads eating like the real frogs and toads out of Japan. I believe I've seen this one. Yep. Same story, just maybe a little different characters. So, rehashing again, but there's not a whole lot they can do with Michigan J. Frog unless they were to change his character up somewhat. So, this one, the rehashing, I get that one a little bit more. Alright. Alright, here we go again. Another Roadrunner. That looks more like a, kind of like a Pixar version of animation, almost like Beast Wars or something for Transformers, kind of that early CGI version of Roadrunner there. So let's see when this was. Of course, it's not going to give us a date, doesn't look like. Alright, the old Roadrunner. Get yourself one of those Plymouths and with the old Roadrunner logo on it. That'd be pretty cool. Pretty expensive car now. Alright, a turtle. Remember the turtle? It's the one that always beat Bugs Bunny in the race. Turtle. Tortoise in the hair, the turtle in the hair. He's funny, taking relaxing, because Bugs Bunny's. If you ever notice when you watch Bugs Bunny, the only time Bugs Bunny ever loses or gets hurt is when he's the aggressor. Like when he starts off being kind of the jerk, is when Bugs Bunny gets his comeuppance. So like, oh, I'm gonna beat this guy. It's no problem. You ain't gonna have no problem beating this turtle. Or so whenever Bugs Bunny starts trouble is when he ends up losing. So if you ever notice, kind of keep your eye out for that. Otherwise, Bugs Bunny's kind of like a Mary Sue. He never loses unless he's the one that starts trouble. But it's when somebody else starts trouble with Bugs is when he goes to town on him, basically. So that's something you might want to keep in mind when you're so shell game. So one of the late 90s ones there, so that's interesting. That's Cecil Turtle. Alright, so pretty neat. Alright, rest in peace, June Foray, who did the voice for most of the female characters in Looney Tunes, and she died a few years back, like 4, 5, 6 years ago. June Foray, and one of her popular ones was Witch Hazel, which is funny, Witch Hazel. Another play on words that a kid probably wouldn't get. But Witch Hazel, she was always fun. It's now or never. So I wonder who does her voice now. I think her daughter might have been involved last I heard, something like that. Or granddaughter, I'm not sure. But Witch Hazel. Alright, down the last few cards, people. Alright, so we finally got a Bugs Bunny at least. Caught Crimson Fisted. So there he is with the old Robin Hood story. What is that? Sheriff Nottingham, or who? Can't remember the sheriff's name from Robin Hood. There's old Bugs Bunny. Let's see, that kind of looks like a Chuck Jones Bugs Bunny. If you also know, like, Friz Freleng Bugs Bunny kind of has the longer ears, maybe a little rounder face. The Robert McKimson, he's a little more baby-faced. Chuck Jones is kind of right smack in the middle. And I of course love the Tex Avery Bugs Bunny, which was like the originals. The early ons where he was like, those early ons were ones where they had Fat Elmer Fudd, like the bigger one. And Bugs Bunny would just like torture him. That's the Bugs Bunny I liked. So those early ones, Bugs was kind of a agitator. But he's always an agitator, but he would start off agitating. But there he is. 1949. Robin Hood. Alright, let's see. Just trying to see if it gave you the director, but it doesn't say. Easy enough to look up though. So we're going to put old Bugs off to the side because he's the main character. And then there we go, Foghorn Leghorn once again. that little nerdy chicken that wants to tie old Foghorn down. Yes. Alright, so there we go. A little Foghorn Leghorn. Miss Prissy, that's right. Oh yeah, they can get married. Oh, it's a newer version, so there we go. So Father or the Bride, I'm going to have to look into these new Bugs Bunnies because I haven't seen them. But there it is, folks. Looney Tunes, that's what you can expect out of these Flair. So if you're just into collecting these kind of characters and stuff like that, yeah, they're pretty good quality cards. They look good. Surprised they have a lot of new stuff in there, so maybe that's a new product that Looney Tunes has out there, Warner Brothers, that I'm just not familiar with because maybe it's streaming or something like that, and I don't have cable right now. So alright, so nevertheless, pretty nice stuff. So just quickly, That one's pretty cool. Roadrunner's pretty cool. Of course, Daffy. Probably my least favorite one just because it's not original animation. Witch Hazel, Foghorn. So, fun stuff. Got all the DVD box sets from the Golden, what is it? The Golden Collection or the Golden Age Collection or whatever. Pretty cool stuff, people. Alright, so thanks for watching old style classic cards. And that fits right into my kind of cards. Retro. Flair Retro. So, I guess retro and old style, kind of the same thing, right? Alright, so there it is, folks. Thanks for watching. And we'll be getting to doing some of these here in a little bit. Alright, everybody, thanks for watching Old Style Classics. Famous actors. Cartoon cards. Alright, everybody, see you later.